Good day, everyone. I am Rian Angelia Sali, a Bachelor of Science in Technology, Communication, and Management, major in multimedia student of USTP. And welcome to Mic Drops and Mic Pops with Rian A. For this first ever episode, let us assess the Charot readings of Macoy Dubs. So, for a short background, the podcast is hosted by Macoy Dubs, or known as Mark Arevilla, a popular Filipino content creator known for his humor and relatable commentaries on social issues, pop culture, and current events. The genre of Macoy Dubs' Charot Readings podcast can be classified as, of course, comedy, since his witty and lighthearted approach makes it clear that the readings are meant to entertain, not to be taken seriously. And, of course, for entertainment, since his content mixed with jokes, sarcasm, and a playful exploration of everyday Filipino life. The general theme of his podcast has astrology with a twist. Charot Readings takes the traditional format of horoscope readings and transforms it into something funny and entertaining. Macoy Dubs plays with the common traits associated with each zodiac signs, often exaggerating or poking fun at them in a way that's humorous to the audience. The podcast reflects Filipino humor and cultural nuances, making it more relatable to its target audience. Macoy Dubs frequently references common Filipino experiences, slang, and social behaviors, tying them into his horoscope readings. While being comedic, the podcast sometimes includes pieces of advice for listeners, although it is framed in a sarcastic and humorous way. For the episode, Macoy reads the horoscope for the zodiac sign of the day. However, instead of giving a serious prediction, he adds a humorous twist to the usual themes of love, work, or personal life. He often uses exaggerated scenarios or over-the-top advice to create humor. For example, a typical horoscope about career success might be spun into a sarcastic comment about not working too hard because you are meant to chill. Each episode usually lasts about 5 minutes. The audio quality of Macoy Dubs' podcast is decent, though not as polished as larger productions. Since his setup seems minimalistic, it sometimes lacks the high-level production found in more commercial podcasts, but it adds to the authenticity and relatability of the content. The episodes are well-paced and do not drag, keeping the audience engagement. The editing is simple with few noticeable cuts or transitions, which works for the format. Macoy Dubs doesn't frequently use sound effects or background music in his podcast. The focus remains on the conversation, with any sound effects being minimal and usually used for comedic emphasis. Macoy Dubs interacts with his audience through social media platforms such as Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. He often uses these platforms to promote episodes, respond to listeners' comments, and engage with fan-made content. The podcast is available on popular platforms such as Spotify and Apple Podcasts, making it easily accessible to his followers. His humorous and viral content on these platforms helps drive listeners to the podcast. He also cross-promotes with other Filipino influencers and content creators. While there is not a heavy focus on monetization, Macoy Dubs occasionally incorporates sponsorships in his content. He does not heavily rely on ads or Patreon, which may be due to the nature of his casual and accessible content. The podcast success can be attributed to Macoy Dubs' ability to balance humor with a twist of charot. His relatable content combined with his strong online presence ensures a steady listener base. Macoy Dubs' podcast highlights the importance of authenticity and relatability in content creation. His mix of comedy and critical discussion has influenced how I see the potential of podcasts to address social issues in a way that is engaging and accessible at the same time to a younger audience like me. So, that will be all for this mic dropping and mic popping topic. For more content, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and listen to my podcast on Spotify. Thank you so much and have a great day ahead.